My name is Amir and I would like to talk about the judiciary. First thing first, judiciary is defined as the authorities that are responsible to implement the law in a nation. The purpose of the judiciary's establishment is to provide fairness and equality. Other than that, the judiciary are responsible to put sentence on someone, whether he or she is guilty or not according to the existing law and the situation. But the decision will undergo critical judgment with a lot of procedure is going on. Example of the judiciary is courts of law. Next is legislature. Legislature is a branch of government that performs the role of making laws in the country. The purpose of the legislature is basically to legislate or create new laws with crucial deliberation. Other than that, they are responsible to make amendments to the existing laws. After that, legislature examine government's policy and approve any kind of government's expenditure. Example of legislature is the parliament, the senate, and lastly the House of Representatives.
Hi, my name is Shankar, and today I will be explaining one of the legal institution, which is the executive. The definition of the executive are: it is the part of the government that is in charge of implementing law and decision. For its purpose, according to the Article 39 of the Federal Constitution, the executive is entrusted with the right to rule and enforce the law by means of delegates power and draw bills. They govern the country according to the law made by the parliaments. The example are the Malaysian federal government, which executive consists of cabinets, public services, prime minister, Yang di-Pertuan Agong, and conference of ruler.
Military and police are uniform government service that have the mandatory power to use legal force and contribute to state authorities. Combined, they provide the country best arm. Military is a large organized force arm that are trained for war to defend country from enemies. Military commonly are divided into three branches of organization, which have different role and responsibility, which are Army for land, Navy for sea, and Air Force for air. Soldiers typically work in large organizations or battalions, brigades, and divisions, consisting of thousands of troops. Military force usually relies more on coercion and less on communication and rule of law when dealing with a situation. They are optimized to break things and kill enemies. Police is an individual body of officers of a public organization that represents civil authority of government. Police are often entrusted with various licensing and regulatory activities. Police are competent to maintain order and enforce the law. Police can be divided into several organizations, which are public police force, security agency, military, public constabulary force, and government agency. Police consistently operate individually or in pairs or in small teams, but police are limited to self-defense compared to military. Small organizations with less capacity to manage violence, like the police, relies more on application of rule sets and direct communication with those they must deal with. For purposes, military are responsible for protection of state against external enemies. Traditionally, army are focused on welfare and international rule of law. Military usually involved in rescue operation, medical assistance in impoverished area, food and humanitarian relief, security at embassy and other locations, policing in volatile area, natural disaster relief, law enforcement, piracy, and drug interdiction. while police they are responsible for internal security and preservation of internal public order. They are focused on public order, service delivery, and national rule of law. Police are responsible for upholding the law, preventing crime, pursuing and bringing to justice to those who break the law, keeping the peace, and protecting and reassuring the community. The example of military are Malaysian Armed Force MAF or known as Angkatan Tentera Malaysia ATM, consists of Malaysian Army, Royal Malaysian Navy, and the Royal Malaysian Air Force. The example of police are Royal Malaysian Police or known as PDRM.
Legal profession is a career that needs knowledge of the law and how it is applied. And this is one of the frustrating career in the world because whether in a policy making capacity, consulting service, justice dispensing role, or actually representing clients in court, legal professionals must go through a difficult process of thought, analyzing, and reasoning for the majority of the time. The purpose of legal professions is to assist in the resolution of the conflicts between different bodies, whether it's a fight between two parties or a fight between states, a fight between the governments and the general public, or some other conflicts. Second purpose of legal profession is lawyers support ordinary citizens in protecting their human rights and help in preserving the balance of power between the legislature, the executives, and the judiciary. Examples of paralegal are judges, lawyer, attorney, juries, paralegals, and others.
Okay, next, we'll be talking about the civil society. The definition for the civil society are: it is the third sector of society, along with the government and businesses, which consists of society and non-governmental organization. There are many purposes of civil society. First, they are important source of information for citizens and governments. Secondly, they also monitor government's policy and action while holding the government accountable. They also engage in advocacy and offer alternative policies for governments, the private sector, and other institutions. Examples of civil society are online group and social media communities, non-governmental organizations and non-profits, union and other collective bargaining groups, innovators, entrepreneurship and activists, cooperative and collective, and grassroots organization.
Okay, what is bureaucracy? Bureaucracy is a specific form of organization that was defined by its complexity, division of labor, permanence, professional management, hierarchical coordination and control, also restriction of command and its legal authority. The purpose of bureaucracy is to provide public goods, enhance quality of life, and also stimulate the growth of economy. And secondly is to apply taxation, gives homeland security, immigration, foreign affairs, and also give and provide education to the people. And the examples of bureaucracy in Malaysia is Ministry of Agriculture and Agro-based Industry, Ministry of Defence, Ministry of Domestic Trade, Cooperative and Consumerism, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Energy, Wind Energy and Water, Ministry of Federal Territories and Urban Wellbeing, and lastly, Ministry of Finance.